And so this is the Mite Box. This was the officers club, and this little door was so how we knew that you
belong. Could come in. Yeah.
So in the stories that we've heard, this was the officers club, and what is now the lavatory was lined with tin and filled with ice to keep their beer cold.
Yeah, and they had the ones that were up there. They could store the beer that they would bring down when they used it up, the cold beer.
VBF 20. I don't know what that means, but that sign came with the house.
VBF. I wonder what that stood for. Maybe Hope knows.
Which has less to do with the house than it does with family history.
Oh, the tubes?
Yeah.
That's the right way to do it.
Yeah, exactly. We did it all according
Below the frost line.
yes.
So these rugs, Mom, do you want to talk a little bit about the rug?
When we were little and came here, in the old days you only had woolen bathing suits. It was before the days of nylon and cotton. And we wore the woolen bathing suits all summer long, and when we were ready to close everything up and go home, we would take our woolen bathing suits to a woman called Mrs. Crandall, who lived up on the hill with a wonderful old horse, next to
Route 216.
Yeah, on the other side of Route 16. And we would give her our woolen bathing suits, and when we came back the next spring, this is what she made out of. Yeah,
that's something.
And we would have fun because I couldn't remember whether that red was mine and the blue was my brother's, or so we still have them.
Yeah.
This is great. You're gonna have it open for rent.
My father-in-law worked for the state. He was superintendent of the roads in South County, and he had got word that these were for sale. So that's why he came down to confer with us. Would we be willing to have 2 cottages on the lot? So that's why we decided to do this. So. Well, we had 2 lots over there. This was back probably in the late 50s. And we had a little cottage at last on one lot, and the other lot, my mother and father-in-law decided we'd heard about this little cottage for sale. They thought, well, we'll go up and buy it, and we'd have an extra cottage for them. So we piled into the car, my husband and I and my in-laws, and headed up West Beach Road. And thought, well, we're going on a great adventure, and lo and behold, there came this little cottage on a flatbed toward us. And Holly had got there before we did, and she had it. So this has got a special place in my heart, too. We almost had it.
Well, I like to think that the oxen dragged this house and this house down from where it was, but it was really a bulldozer or a truck.
Hey, come here, Frederica. Join in. Come on. He wants the story of how it got here.
Oh.
So the story of the Mite Box getting here is apparently the air base up at Ninigret was getting rid of buildings, and it is my belief there was an auction.
Yes, there's an auction.
And an auction in the spring of 1956, we believe. And a number of houses in the neighborhood actually were from that same air base, auxiliary air base. And the story is it just trundled down on a truck flatbed, down right to here, and was settled on some cedar posts. Put up by Albert Pendleton?
Albert Pendleton, yeah, big posts. And this house came, and the little Wren house, which is next door.
This little beach cottage?
This little beach cottage came that same summer, well, spring, and then in the summer Albert worked one after the other and got them on posts and
built the porches.
Built the porches.
And probably made a few improvements. I actually have a note from my grandmother that says Albert suggested the walls be eggshell white, and was that okay? So, yeah. Thanks.